Greetings, Fire Chargers. Death Lightning 44 here, and we're back with responding to the atheist voice.
There's no evidence.
That's a false premise. So let me actually get out my camera app. I don't want you to see me. Neither do you want you to see me. Come on, flip. Good, it's flipping. It's flipping. I should just stop. So, we're going to 1. So it's an FP standing for false premise. And it's also an argument from ignorance. And it's also an non-sequitur. So we have 1 for false premise. And let me see. One. And now, what else? The argument from ignorance goes like this: A hasn't been true, A hasn't been proven true, therefore it's false, or A hasn't been proven false, therefore it's true. I'm gonna go lock the door. As you can see, our guest is Kakashi. We're going to ignore this for a while. So, let's get back.
God doesn't stop the evil in the world. In fact, if you read the Bible...
Oh, great. 2. What's the problems with 2? It's another non sequitur. And let me try to find it. The idea of basically, the person would have to intend that you believe God doesn't exist or God doesn't imply, because he allows those things to happen for it to be an emotional fallacy. That's from gotquestions.org. So it's also an E non sequitur. 2 emotion. Am I still going?
Bible, God committed plenty of it. Drowning just about everything alive? Not a sign of love.
3. That's an S, and I'm guessing another emotion. What?
The opening lines of the Bible are factually wrong. Why?
In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. So that's your 4th argument. 4, that's an FP, and also an NS.
Should we believe the rest of it? Prayer has never fixed anything physically impossible.
Prove that. And also, 5 is also an NS. Seriously, 5 consecutive non sequiturs.
Why won't God heal amputees? There are thousands of gods you don't believe in. What makes yours any different?
That is a non sequitur. 6.
Where you're born essentially determines what you believe.
1 conversions prove that to be false, so 7. So that's an F, P, and S, and then a G. So add 1 for genetic, That's 7.
Why should the truth be based on geography? Who created God?
That's an. The answer, God is the necessary of eternal existing being. There has to be something that is eternal and has existed for an infinite amount of time. And also, this is a non sequitur. Because it doesn't.
And how does your answer to that make any sense? Pediatric cancer.
And look, 9. That's in. I'm going to label that as E and, of course, N S. Because it's a non sequitur. It doesn't follow that. 9.
Unconditional love shouldn't come with a list of conditions.
10. That is an NS. No. Accidentally wrote a comma after the 7 in the genetic category.
Every single supposed miracle gets debunked eventually.
Oh, really? Debunk the feeding of the 5,000. I'll wait. So, FP, because there were several supposed miracles that haven't been debunked in any of the time since they were claimed, and that's also a non sequitur. Sorry, for non sequitur, I put NS instead of 10.
Somehow, the 10 Commandments left off, don't rape people, and slavery's not okay.
Oh, look. So what do we have? 12. That's non sequitur. It's also based on emotion, and also it is indirectly false. Because slavery is because a lot of the way slavery has been conducted in the past several thousand years has involved stealing, and rape will usually occasionally involve stealing of virginity, so that is, I'll put that as 1, 2, I. In order to implies that is, the 12 has an I to symbolize that is indirectly false.
The movies and music that honor God are just awful.
That's subjective, so it isn't objectively true, nor is it objectively false, but it isn't sequitur.
The invisible and the non-existent look very much alike.
Okay, I guess gravity doesn't exist then.
No hide-and-seek game lasts this long.
This is indirectly false because no hide-and-seek game is occurring. No one's actually closing their eyes, turning into a certain direction, counting to 20, saying, ready or not, here I come, and searching for God. Literally no one is doing that. And also the invisible and intangible is looking for some. And also, I can also use that same logic to argue against gravity. So it's FP, but indirectly because no hide-and-seek game is occurring, and oh wait, this is 15.
Science explains so much of what we used to attribute to a god.
116, that's NS.
The more we learn, the less reason we have to believe in God.
According to scientists like what is it called? Lord Kelvin, that's actually false. So, and it's also non sequitur. Oh, that's 17. I accidentally wrote 18 for false premise.
If you try to explain your religious mythology to someone who had never heard it before, you would sound crazy.
18. Ooh, and Cogito doesn't sound crazy to me, so that's false. Cogito literally explained several religions that I've never heard of before, that I've never actually heard of any of the teachings before, and it didn't sound crazy, so that is not true. The 18th contains a false premise. Because the purpose of and this person probably doesn't even know what an explanation is because of it. Did we already pass the music one? Oh yeah, that was 13.
Seriously, try explaining communion wafers to someone who's never heard of Catholicism.
Do you even know what the purpose of an explanation is?
If God didn't exist, the world would look exactly the same way it does now.
And look, a false premise at 19.
If God existed, he would smite me right now.
Is that premise actually true? And also, neither of those are actually non. And also 19. Although 20 technically is sequitur.
Heard it before, look exactly the same way it does now. If God existed, he would smite me right now.
Oh, and 20 isn't actually true. Just that you should know that. But I'm not exactly... So these are the results. That Kakashi Hatake for genetic fallacy got the 7th argument. Emotions, the 2nd, the 3rd, the 9th, the 12th. The argument from ignorance, that was mainly just the first premise. The argument. Non sequitur. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. And false premise. 1, 4, 7, 11, 12 indirectly. 15 also indirectly. 17, 18, 19, and 20.